Hello, everyone. This is Roopa Sunku with yet another episode of Mentor Loop. Today, I'm going to talk about internships and shadowing that will aid and foster some impressions, perspectives, and ideas for you to start or initiate a career journey. So what is job shadowing? Job shadowing is an activity where you can shadow, observe, follow somebody in your potential field of interest, while this is the professional environment at work for somebody. Usually for a set period, shadowing can last anywhere from 1 hour to a week or longer. It depends on the program, the employers, the industry, the network connections that you make, or the people who are aiding you with the shadowing that can determine how long or how much you would like to do to get a perspective on their professional environment. Job shadowing is when a prospective employee or a student or participant is just out of school or looking to start up their first jobs, is assigned to observe a new environment with some senior folks performing their daily job. So this is the time for you to look at what is the career outlay of the particular position that you are watching, or the understanding of the culture, the understanding of the role. So people with leadership roles, you can see the execution and the language that is used in their conversation versus somebody who is just starting up or somebody who is more senior in their job roles. Definitely take this opportunity to ask a lot of questions, understand why or what were the dynamics of the hours that you shadowed them with, and keep your mind open to what your biases and whatever your opinions were to see if those ring true in the real world. So this will probably help you decide if this is a career of choice. A lot of times we are pressured into believing that certain careers are right for us, but unless you actually see it, live it, and look at it, you probably are not in a position to make that choice. So what is the difference between internship? So internship or apprenticeship provides a way for students to get a taste of what it is like in the work area in specific organizations. A relatively short-term hands-on experience is what the internship allows for, which is not there in shadowing. So you actually can put your hands to writing code if that is what you're doing, or if you are a reporter or a blogger in some kind of communication world, then that is you would actually write. And if you are in project management, you would probably do that if in terms of managing the project, looking at putting out those spreadsheets, those goals, and those status updates for leadership. Those are some of the things that is what differentiates internship from shadowing. You actually get your hands dirty and do the work of the people that you're watching. Initially, probably internship will start very similar to shadowing, where you're watching and understanding the role to be played, but after which you can actually get your hands dirty and get to do some of the work that the organization or the corporation that you're associated with is doing. Internships get to be a complete piece of work that you can see from start to finish, while shadowing probably doesn't allow you to get a sense of a start to finish by yourself. You are obviously observing it, and if the week-long shadowing gives you a flavor of the entire week's worth of activity or a month worth of activity and a couple of repetitions of the tasks on hand. But with internships, even the short-term internships allow you to have like a starting point and a finishing point, or it will make it a sizable or a bite-sized activity where it has a start and a finish. So there is a little bit of an accomplishment associated to internships. Now, there is the other difference that people pick up internships over the summer to be able to take some of their low time and put it to use in terms of taking those learnings from the classroom to the workplace. And it also gives you an opportunity to understand the people side of things. It's as easy as it is to work by yourself and take instructions from your instructor or your boss and get the job done. Some of the dynamics that you would probably interlay into your internship would be just that ability to work in a team and do things with somebody else, with parts of it being completed by you and then followed by another person, or vice versa, where you are the starting bits and somebody else finishes off your work. There is a lot of activities that we would have done in life, like playing sports, either rec sports or any kind of team sports. You do have and learn the team building aspect and the working in a team aspect of doing the job. But it's again very different because the cultural norms or the operational aspects of a job versus a sport is relatively different in that sense. Some internships are very few hours and limited number of people, and it may be just those tasks that they need to get done for end of a project or a beginning of a project, or some kind of a discovery part of the work can also be put into internships. The major difference between shadowing and internship is just that you perform the duties while you watch the duties as an shadowing experience. Interns are hired and do get paid. So there are both paid and unpaid internships that are available. And now, more recently in the industry, I have noticed that there are a relatively large number of corporations, to name a few, like Amazon, Google, Cisco, take on interns from the schools and the colleges around them and allow them to come back during the summers to be able to intern in their sophomore and junior year, and then are offered a position once they are a rising senior to be able to work for those companies. That is, again, a really nice way for employers to be able to hire people and make sure that you are a good fit into the company, rather than bring you in and commit yourself as a full-time employee, and the ability to let you go if you are not a fit becomes a little bit more challenging. So internships are used even on those levels. However, the goal of somebody who's stepping into a career path or coming out of college is to be able to discover and play with a number of environments and number of companies, size of the companies, and the cultures of the companies to be able to determine where you think you would make a fit. There are a lot of times that coming out of the academic scope of learning, you may perceive a particular job to be a certain type. And when you go there, you say, oh, even this can be a job, and it actually is a paid job which has a lot of potential. So those are the aha moments that you should also look out for when you're doing an internship. Understand the business at large rather than just the department that you're working with and focusing on the job at hand. So in summary, I would say day in the life of a person whom you want to watch, be it an internship or a shadowing, make sure to do that in a couple of settings before you make that final decision if you're unsure of where you want to go. Try jobs in different industries, different settings, like the size of the company. Like I mentioned earlier, it could be a multinational company, or it could be a big conglomerate, or it could be the FANG companies, which is the favorite spot for all of the new folks to join, being Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and Netflix, and Google. So those could all be dream jobs and dream opportunities for you folks to be able to go into and shadow there. You could also choose local industries or businesses that give you a totally different flavor from that of the corporate businesses and the franchises that are out there. You should also consider government jobs. Jobs in the public sector or universities could give you various flavors within the career pathing that you're looking to go into. You can even join, say, a couple of meetings and see how the meetings are held. Couple of technical breakdown sessions, maybe be part of the scrum calls in the tech space, or be part of one guest lecture, or be part of a government job of caseworkers working with minors in social situation. So any such thing, join parts of the day or a full day to be able to look at the scope and the differentiation between those roles and job functions that are there in the organization. Companies use interns to move them to permanent employees, as I said. So they will get them out of college, pay them a salary, but it will not be a confirmed full-time position until you have finished a 6-month period or a 3-month period, by which they would have seen what you can bring to the table and you know what your job looks like, and if you are interested in continuing to be part of that program. So there are very, very formal internship programs. This also is very handy with an internship program for returning people coming back into the workforce. This is going to give you an opportunity to see if this particular company is what you would like to continue or reinitiate working with. So, or maybe this is an opportunity for returning workforce people to determine if they want to change a career and if that's their cup of tea or not. Okay. Also, this can serve as an opportunity to double up on your academic practical skills. So obviously, professions like nursing or medicine has residency that goes along with it. But some of the other professions don't have that practical knowledge that goes into it. So utilize the summers of your different years of academic learnings to intern, and you are now learning both the academic side of the subject as well as the practical real life experiences brought in with your internships. Seize opportunities more than trying to decide whether you are getting paid or unpaid, because every experience is a great start and a great beginning for some of your perspectives to be brought into reality. Also, don't focus just purely on the group or the area that you're working on. Feel your way around the corporate structure and the company structure to see if there is something else that you were unaware of that may pique your fancy. I would always suggest starting in high school to start looking for that real life experiences, be it working in a small burger place or working as a retail clerk or any front office opportunities, to be able to get that customer service element understood, because that is one such element that is not understood by books. It is that real life experience interacting with customers and being able to handle situations with customers that is so practically learned and so important to be able to pick up with internships. There are a lot of organizations that have some volunteering-based internships as well. And you do see that more in the social agencies than the corporations itself. But that is a great opportunity to be able to get into those social agencies as volunteers, because people in the social agencies see the paid caseworkers or the attorneys or the counselors to be very different from that of a volunteer. But when you volunteer in these organizations, you're able to understand the gamut of jobs that are out there in that industry, or the certifications that may be applicable for that career, or you're able to learn things like aids and support system and laws that may be pertinent to that job. So seize on any of the volunteer opportunities, especially in social agencies. Be part of clubs in the schools, because these schools and colleges give you an opportunity to write up a business proposal for a very large corporation. And that is a great thing, to be able to understand the practical learnings of the project. And go with a team, make a couple of proposals, and maybe you have that winning proposal from school itself. You land a business idea, and you can be that entrepreneur to be able to take that forward with that practical experience that you have. Also, utilize your family and friend network to be able to look at jobs in the real world sense. Once you start doing or putting your hands into the small first opportunities, you start looking, and you can start hearing and seeing more opportunities widen in front of you. So the horizon becomes much broader. So take it upon yourself to utilize family and friends to be able to shadow, and then you can consider interning if that is suitable for you and your interests. Getting connected with your strengths and the potential future employers should be your primary focus when you are shadowing and interning, and learn how to showcase yourself and be practical with your approach and your understanding of the job and the various agencies. I hope you were able to peel or take away a few pointers to what you are working on, and the stage of life or the milestones that you're planning on for yourself. And if you are interested in being part of Touch a Life Foundation, either as a mentor or a mentee, please do join us. And please listen to the other series of Mentor Loop sessions that I have recorded for us. And you can come to Touch a Life Foundation or TALRadio to be able to look at all of these episodes that will aid and assist you with some thoughts towards your career. Thank you once again, and talk to you soon.